This video is about she was humiliated and the wealthy investor took his hand. If this story inspires you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The sun hung low in the sky, casting a warm golden hue over the sprawling city of Riverton. Amidst the hustle and bustle, Mia Collins stood outside the glass doors of Luxsphere Technologies, a thriving tech startup known for its groundbreaking innovations. As she read over the job description one last time, a wave of anxiety washed over her. The position she was vying for was a dream lead designer for an AI-based project, but the thought of walking into the building filled her with dread. Mia had always been an outsider in the tech world. With her scrappy beginnings in a small town and a tumultuous childhood, she had worked tirelessly to carve out a space for herself in an industry dominated by privilege. In the midst of her insecurities, however, a flicker of determination sparked within her. This was her chance to prove she belonged. As she entered the sleek lobby, the atmosphere was electric, filled with confident professionals bustling about. She could feel their eyes on her, a mixture of interest and judgment. She straightened her back, reminded herself of her qualifications, and took a deep breath. "You've got this, Mia," she whispered under her breath as she approached the reception desk. "Can I help you?" The receptionist looked up with a hint of impatience. "I am here for the interview with Mr. Harrison," Mia replied, her voice steadier than she felt. "Take the elevator to the 4th floor," the receptionist said, barely glancing at her as she gestured towards the sleek silver doors. As Mia stepped into the elevator, she felt the familiar knot of anxiety tighten in her stomach. She ran her fingers through her wild curls, taking a moment to ground herself. "Just be yourself," she repeated like a mantra, willing the words to take root in her heart. When the doors opened, she was greeted by a breathtaking view of the city skyline. The office was sleek, modern, and intimidating, filled with glass walls and minimalist furniture. She approached the conference room where the interview would take place, trying to shake off the feeling of being out of place. "Ms. Collins, we be ready for you," a voice called out. Taking a deep breath, Mia walked into the room, her heart racing. 3 interviewers sat before her, their expressions unreadable. Among them was the renowned investor Victor Harrison. Known for his astute insights and razor-sharp intellect, he was a titan in the industry. "Thank you for coming, Mia," Mr. Harrison said, offering a warm smile that eased some of her tension. "We've reviewed your portfolio, and we were quite impressed with your work." Mia nodded, her heart swelling with a mix of pride and nervousness. "I appreciate the opportunity. I believe that design can fundamentally change how we interact with technology, making it more accessible and human." As the interview progressed, she spoke passionately about her vision and ideas, drawing inspiration from her own journey. But just as she began to feel a sense of confidence, one of the interviewers, a sharply dressed woman named Linda, interjected with a skeptical tone. "Mia, your experience is admirable, but it seems limited. How do you expect to lead a project at this level with your background?" The words hit Mia like a punch to the gut. She could feel the color rising in her cheeks, the hot embarrassment washing over her. "I've faced many challenges, but that is what drives me. I am not just a designer. I am a survivor," she replied, her voice trembling slightly. Mr. Harrison leaned forward, sensing the tension. "I appreciate your honesty, Mia. We all have our unique paths, and it is how we navigate the struggles that define us." But Linda's gaze lingered with skepticism. "It is not just about struggle. We need someone who can hit the ground running. Are you sure you're up to the challenge?" In that moment, Mia felt the walls closing in. The doubt that had crept in during her journey now echoed in her mind. "Maybe I am not cut out for this," she thought, swallowing hard. "Let us move on," Mr. Harrison said, trying to steer the conversation. "Can you tell us about a project you were particularly proud of?" As Mia launched into a story about her work on a community app that helped underprivileged families connect with resources, she saw a shift in Mr. Harrison's demeanor. His eyes sparkled with interest. "That is wonderful, Mia. It sounds like you genuinely care about the community," he said, a hint of admiration in his voice. Mia smiled, feeling a small spark of hope rekindle within her. "I believe technology should serve people, not just profit." But Linda wasn't done. "That is all well and good, but how do you expect to manage a team of seasoned professionals when your experience is so unconventional?" It was as if the wind had been knocked out of her sails. The room felt stifling. "Maybe I don't belong here," she thought, her heart sinking. But deep inside, she felt a flicker of defiance. "I may be unconventional, but I bring a different perspective. I can inspire others to think beyond the status quo." "Your passion is commendable, but we need someone who can meet the demands of this role right away," Linda countered, her voice clipped. Mia swallowed hard, grappling with the urge to defend her worth. It felt like a battle against a wall that had been built up over years of rejection. I understand your concerns, but I am ready to learn, to grow, and to prove myself, she said, her voice breaking slightly. The interview dragged on, filled with questions that felt more like obstacles than opportunities. But amidst the doubts and judgments, Mia held on to the conviction that her journey mattered. Every setback, every moment of humiliation had led her to this point, igniting a fire within her that refused to dim. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the interview came to a close. Mia walked out of the room, her heart heavy yet filled with a strange sense of relief. I did my best, she whispered to herself. That's all I can do. As she stepped back into the elevator, the familiar knot of anxiety returned, but this time it was intertwined with a sense of resilience. The doors closed, and she pressed the button for the ground floor, feeling the weight of her emotions shift. Suddenly, the elevator jolted to a stop, the lights flickered, and Mia's heart raced. No, not now, she thought, panic rising as she pressed the buttons frantically. Moments passed, and she could hear her own breath echoing against the metal walls. It was just her, alone with her thoughts. What if this is a sign, she wondered, tears brimming in her eyes. What if I am not strong enough? But then she remembered the story of her life, the countless times she had faced adversity head-on. Each challenge had shaped her, and every setback had ignited her passion. She took a deep breath, feeling a sense of calm wash over her. I've come too far to let fear win now, she reminded herself, finding strength in her vulnerability. After what felt like an eternity, the elevator lurched back to life and began descending. As the doors opened, she stepped out, heart still racing but now infused with hope. On her way out, Mia spotted Mr. Harrison in the lobby. He was speaking with another executive, but he looked up, meeting her gaze. Mia, he called out, his voice warm. Hello, Mr. Harrison, she replied, her heart flipping. I wanted to thank you for your candidness during the interview. It takes courage to share your story, he said, his sincerity washing over her like a balm. Mia felt a rush of gratitude. Thank you for considering me, it means a lot. You have a unique perspective. Keep that spirit alive, he said, giving her an encouraging nod. No matter the outcome, remember that your journey is what makes you valuable. As she exited the building, Mia felt the warmth of the sun on her face. For the first time, she could see the city not as an intimidating landscape, but as a tapestry of possibilities. Each setback was a step towards something greater. She walked away with a sense of purpose, ready to embrace whatever came next. With every stride, she reminded herself, this isn't the end, it's just the beginning. As Mia stepped into the bustling streets of Riverdon, the weight of the interview began to lift, replaced by a sense of determination. It was a beautiful day. The sun poured down, illuminating the pathway ahead. She walked quickly, her mind racing with thoughts of what had transpired. Each step felt like a declaration of her resolve. She reached the cafe where she often worked on her freelance projects, a cozy nook filled with the aromas of roasted coffee and freshly baked pastries. As she settled into her usual corner, she grabbed her laptop, but her thoughts lingered on the interview. The memory of Linda's skepticism gnawed at her. You need someone who can meet the demands of this role right away. Those words echoed in her mind, a reminder of the barriers she faced, a reminder of the ongoing challenge of proving herself in an industry that often seemed unwelcoming. Yet, as she sipped her coffee, she felt the tide shift. She opened her laptop and began sketching ideas for her next project, an educational app designed to help children from underprivileged backgrounds learn coding. Each stroke of her pen was a defiance against the doubt that threatened to encircle her. Mia, the familiar voice interrupted her thoughts. It was Jordan, an old friend from college. His easy smile and warm demeanor were a breath of fresh air. Hey, Jordan, what are you doing here? She asked, her heart lifting. Just grabbing a coffee before heading to a meeting. How did the interview go? He inquired, taking the seat across from her. Mia hesitated, the words bubbling in her throat. It was tough. I felt like I was fighting an uphill battle against their expectations. Jordan leaned in, his expression earnest. Hey, I've seen you overcome so much. Just because it was tough doesn't mean you did poorly. You have a unique outlook, and that is your strength. His faith in her was a soothing balm. Thanks, Jordan. It is hard not to let the doubts get to me. I want to be seen for who I am, not just my resume. Exactly. Your story matters. Remember when you led that group project in college? You brought everyone together, and your design thinking changed how we approached it. And now you're bringing that same spirit to the industry, he encouraged. Her heart swelled at the memory. I guess I do have a way of bringing people together, she agreed, her confidence buoyed. I need to keep that in mind. As they talked, Mia shared her ideas for the educational app, her voice animated. Jordan listened intently, nodding along. You should definitely pursue it, Mia. You have the passion and the vision, and there are organizations that might fund your project if you present it well. His encouragement set off a spark within her. You're right, I need to focus on what I can create rather than what I lack. They spent the next hour brainstorming together, and with each idea they tossed around, Mia felt the shadows of self-doubt dissipate. Maybe I can gather a team, she mused. I could reach out to fellow designers and developers I know. We could collaborate on something meaningful. Absolutely, you can lead that charge. You have the experience, Mia, Jordan affirmed, his enthusiasm infectious. After their conversation, Mia walked back to her apartment, her mind racing with possibilities. She could feel a sense of purpose igniting within her. As she sat on her small balcony overlooking the city, she took a moment to reflect on how far she had come. Each struggle had shaped her, each setback had fueled her fire. She was not just a survivor, she was a fighter. The next few weeks became a whirlwind of activity. Mia reached out to her network, inviting fellow creatives to join her on the project. To her delight, many responded enthusiastically, eager to contribute their skills. Together, they met in coffee shops, community centers, and even online, brainstorming ideas, sketching wireframes, and sharing coding solutions. One evening, as they gathered in her living room, the energy was electric. They were a diverse group, a blend of seasoned professionals and fresh talents, each bringing their own unique perspective. Laughter filled the air as they collaborated, and Mia felt an overwhelming sense of belonging. Let us make this app truly special, she said, her eyes shining with excitement. We want to create a platform where every child can explore technology, no matter their background. As the project progressed, Mia faced challenges, of course. There were late nights of debugging, moments of creative block, and clashes over design choices. Sometimes, doubts crept back in, whispering that she wasn't enough. But she learned to lean on her team, drawing strength from their shared mission. One afternoon, while working late, Mia found herself staring at her computer screen, feeling overwhelmed. She picked up her phone and texted Jordan, ***, can you come over? I am feeling stuck, ***. Within half an hour, he arrived, a reassuring presence. What is going on? He asked gently, sensing her frustration. I just don't know if I am cut out for this, she confessed, her voice laced with vulnerability. What if it is not good enough? Jordan leaned back, thoughtfully considering her words. But think about what you were trying to do. You were not just making an app, you were creating opportunities for kids who need it. That is a huge impact. His words struck a chord within her, resonating with the deeper purpose behind her work. You were right, I can't lose sight of that, Mia whispered, a smile breaking through her self-doubt. As weeks turned into months, the app began to take shape. They secured funding from a local nonprofit eager to support their vision. Mia felt a renewed sense of energy and commitment. Finally, the day came when they were ready to launch. They gathered in the community center where they had first met, the atmosphere buzzing with excitement. Mia stood at the front, her heart pounding as she looked at the faces around her friends, family, and the young kids who would benefit from this app. Thank you all for being part of this journey, she began, her voice steady despite the nerves. This app is not just a project, it is a testament to what we can achieve when we come together with a shared purpose that is about giving every child the chance to explore, learn, and grow. As she spoke, she caught sight of a young girl in the front row, her eyes wide with curiosity. Mia felt a wave of emotion surge within her. This is for you, she whispered, her heart swelling with hope. When the app launched, the response was overwhelmingly positive. Families began downloading it, and kids were excitedly engaging with the interactive lessons. Mia received messages of gratitude from parents who saw their children thrive, and every message fueled her passion even further. One evening, as she sat down to reflect on the incredible journey, her phone buzzed. It was a message from Mr. Harrison. ***, Mia, I heard about your app, and I am genuinely impressed. Your story is inspiring. Let us meet to discuss collaboration opportunities. ***. Her heart raced as she realized the doors that were now opening. The initial humiliation she faced had transformed into opportunities she had once only dreamed of. When they met, Mr. Harrison shared his vision for how her app could reach wider audiences. You've bridged a gap in our industry, Mia, he said, his tone earnest. I believe in what you are doing, and I want to support it. As she left the meeting, Mia felt a sense of validation. She hadn't just conquered the judgments of naysayers, she had built something meaningful that was changing lives. Walking back through the city streets, she couldn't help but smile. Each challenge had been a stepping stone, leading her toward a brighter future. She had learned to embrace the beauty of her journey, to find strength in vulnerability, and to celebrate the human spirit's resilience. May paused at a street corner, looking up at the skyline. The sun was setting, casting a warm glow over the city. She whispered to herself, "This is just the beginning." With her heart full of hope and gratitude, she took a deep breath, ready to embrace whatever came next. There was magic in every moment, and she was determined to continue her journey, inspiring others to do the same. A month had passed since Mia's app launched, and the whirlwind of activity showed no signs of slowing down. She found herself juggling meetings with potential investors, collaborating with schools, and even engaging with local media that were eager to share her story. Each day was a testament to her dedication, and a warmth of fulfillment settled within her like an old friend. The morning sun streamed through her apartment window, casting soft patterns across her desk cluttered with sketches, notes, and her beloved coffee mug that read, "Dream Big." She took a moment to breathe in the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, reminding herself of how far she had come. "Mia, you are a force of nature," Jordan exclaimed over a video call, his enthusiasm infectious. They were brainstorming on how to expand the app's reach. "Thanks, Jordan, but it has a lot of responsibility. I want this to have a real impact," she said, her brow furrowing slightly. "Remember, you're not alone in this," he reassured her. "You've built an amazing team of passionate people. Lean on them. Look at what you've accomplished so far." Mia nodded, letting his words sink in. How could she forget the late-night brainstorming sessions with her team, the laughter over pizza as they worked through coding challenges together? They had created something special, and the kids were responding remarkably well. As they wrapped up their call, Mia felt invigorated. "Let us set a meeting for next week to discuss our outreach strategy. I want to make sure we're reaching those kids who need this app the most," she said, her voice laced with determination. Little did she know that challenges were on the horizon, waiting to test her resolve once more. A week later, May sat in a small conference room at a local school, surrounded by educators and administrators eager to hear about her app. She presented with passion, explaining how it could empower children through coding and technology. "Your app is fantastic," one principal said, her tone earnest. "But our budget is tight, and we can't commit to any new programs at this time." Mia's heart sank, but she forced a smile. "I understand budgeting constraints. Perhaps we could explore a pilot program to demonstrate the app as value. I am happy to work within your limitations." The room was filled with murmurs of consideration, but another educator spoke up. "It is a noble idea, but we've tried similar programs before and they didn't take off. The kids lose interest quickly." Those words hit me hard. What if they were right, she thought, her confidence wavering. Yet, before she could spiral into doubt, the image of that little girl, the one with wide eyes during the launch, flashed in her mind. "I can't let fear dictate my path," she reminded herself. "May I ask what you believe leads to engagement?" she ventured, her voice steady despite the uncertainty. The principal leaned back, considering her. "Kids respond to hands-on experiences. If you can integrate those into your app, you might have something compelling." Mia's heart raced as an idea began to form. What if we incorporate challenges that encourage teamwork, perhaps even competitions that reward creativity and collaboration? Slowly, nodding heads emerged around the table. "That could work," one teacher admitted. "Kids love games and challenges." Encouraged by the discussion, Mia spent the next few weeks refining the app, working tirelessly to add new features that would promote collaboration among students. She organized a hackathon, inviting schools to participate in coding competitions while utilizing her app. However, as excitement mounted, so did her anxiety. What if no one shows up? What if the kids don't connect with it? She texted Jordan late one night, pouring her heart out. "Remember why you started this, Mia. You're recreating an opportunity where there was none, and that is powerful," he replied, his words lifting her spirits. The day of the hackathon finally arrived, and as Mia stood in the community center, she felt a mix of nerves and anticipation. Colorful banners hung around the room, and tables were set up with laptops, snacks, and enthusiasm. Children poured in with their parents, excited chatter filling the air. "Welcome, everyone. We're thrilled to have you here," Mia said, her voice ringing through the crowd. "Today, you're not just participants, you're innovators. Let us create something amazing together." As the event kicked off, Mia watched the children huddle in groups, brainstorming ideas on how to use the app. Laughter and excitement filled the air as they shared their visions. Yet, amidst the joy, she noticed a group of quieter kids standing to the side, exchanging nervous glances. Drawing a deep breath, she approached them. "Hi there, are you interested in joining a group? I promise it's going to be fun." One boy shrugged, his eyes downcast. "I am not good at this stuff. I won't be able to do anything." Mia knelt down to his level, her face softening. "I thought the same when I started. The important part is trying. You'll surprise yourself." With a hesitant smile, he nodded, and she led him back to the others. As they began collaborating, Mia's heart swelled with pride. She moved through the room, offering guidance, encouragement, and sometimes just a listening ear. 15 minutes left, she announced as the event neared its conclusion. "Let us see what you've created." The energy in the room was palpable. Kids showcased their apps, each presentation bursting with creativity. The boy she had encouraged stood proudly next to his group, presenting a game where players had to solve puzzles to unlock levels. "I helped design this part," he beamed, and Mia couldn't help but smile. When it was time to announce the winners, she felt her heart race again. Everyone is a winner today for daring to create, but we do have a few special prizes to recognize exceptional teamwork and creativity. As she announced the winners, cheers erupted, and Mia felt tears prick at her eyes. It was more than just an event, it was a celebration of collaboration and empowerment. "Thank you for believing in us," one girl exclaimed as she accepted her award. Mia grinned, her heart swelling with hope. This was the transformative power of community. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Yet, as the evening wound down, reality crept back in. The feedback from schools had been encouraging, but funding remained a constant hurdle. "You need significant backing to scale this, Mia," Jordan reminded her during their evening catch-up. "Have you thought about approaching larger organizations for grants?" Mia sighed, the weight of uncertainty settling on her shoulders. "I know, but it feels daunting. What if they reject me? Or worse, what if they laugh at my vision?" "It is part of the process," Jordan said gently. "Remember what you told the kids, you have to be willing to put yourself out there. You're rebuilding something valuable, something that matters." Taking a deep breath, Mia nodded. "You were right, I need to be my own biggest cheerleader, just like I've encouraged them to be." With newfound determination, she researched potential organizations and grant opportunities. Days turned into weeks as she worked tirelessly on proposals, pouring her heart into each application. Finally, one sunny morning, an email notification lit up her screen. Asterisk, asterisk, congratulations. We are pleased to inform you that your project has been approved for funding. Asterisk, asterisk. Mia could hardly believe her eyes. Tears of joy streamed down her face as she read the rest of the message. This was not just funding, it was validation of her hard work, her resilience, and her belief in the power of technology to inspire change. That evening, she gathered her team to share the news. "We did it. We've secured funding to expand our app," she announced, her heart racing with excitement. Cheers erupted in the small room as they celebrated together. "We're really going to make a difference," one team member exclaimed. Mia looked around at their joyful faces, feeling a surge of gratitude. "This is just the beginning. Together, we'll keep pushing boundaries and making sure every child has access to these opportunities." Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. As the months went by, Mia's app grew, reaching more children than she had ever imagined. Each success story fueled her passion, reminding her of the little boy who had once doubted himself. She had become a beacon of hope for others, proving that resilience, inner strength, and kindness could overcome any obstacle. And one afternoon, as she watched a group of excited kids huddled around tablets in a classroom, she felt an overwhelming sense of fulfillment. Each child was exploring their potential, their laughter a melody of possibilities. Mia, her teacher called, interrupting her thoughts. "We'd love to have you speak at our upcoming technology fair. Your story is inspiring." Mia smiled. "I'd be honored. It's important for kids to know they can achieve anything, regardless of their background." As she prepared her speech, she reflected on her journey, the struggles, the humiliations, and the moments of doubt. But each challenge had led her to this point, helping her discover the strength within herself and others. On the day of the fair, as she stood in front of eager young minds, she shared her story. "Never let anyone tell you what you can or cannot achieve," she urged. "Your experiences shape you, but they don't define you. The world needs your unique vision." As Mia stood before the audience of wide-eyed students and parents at the technology fair, she could feel the anticipation in the air. The room was vibrant with energy, decorated with colorful projects created by young innovators. It was a gathering of possibility, and she was ready to share not just her journey, but the essence of resilience itself. "Thank you all for being here today," she began, her voice steady but emotional as she gazed at the sea of hopeful faces before her. I want to take you on a journey that started from a place of doubt and fear, but led me to find strength and purpose in helping others. May shared her story, how she had faced setbacks, how she once felt out of place in the tech industry, and how the skepticism of others had threatened to drown her dreams. I remember walking into a room full of experienced professionals, feeling like an imposter, she recalled. But it was my story, my struggles, that shaped my passion. Each challenge ignited a fire within me to prove that I belong. A hand shot up from the back of the room, catching her off guard. But how did you keep going when things got tough? The young girl asked, her curiosity genuine. Mia smiled, touched by the question. Great question. There were moments when I wanted to give up, especially after facing rejection, but I realized that each setback was an opportunity to learn and grow. I leaned on my friends, my family, and even mentors who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Finding that support system was crucial. The room murmured in agreement as she continued, her heart swelling with hope as she spoke. Eventually, I took those lessons and created something I believe in, an app that empowers kids, just like you, to explore coding and technology. I wanted everyone to have the chance to create their own path, no matter where they came from. After her talk, several kids approached her, eyes sparkling with excitement. Will you help me with my coding project? One boy asked shyly, clutching a notebook filled with sketches and ideas. Absolutely, let us work together, Mia replied, her heart warming at their eagerness. These were the moments she lived for, the chance to inspire young minds and nurture their creativity. As the fair came to an end, Mia received a message from Jordan. ***, the media wants to interview you about the app. They're really impressed with the impact you're making. ***. She felt a rush of exhilaration. It was another opportunity to amplify her message. This is what I've been working for, she thought, her heart racing. Yet beneath the excitement, a familiar anxiety crept in. What if I mess up? What if they ask questions I can't answer? Mia reached out to Jordan, expressing her concerns. What if I freeze up? I am just a girl who took a chance. Jordan responded with unwavering support. Mia, remember the kids today. You've already inspired so many. Just share your truth. You'll be amazing. His words grounded her, reminding her of the strength she had discovered along her journey. She focused on the excitement of sharing her story rather than the fear of judgment. ***. The day of the interview arrived, and Mia sat in a bright studio, the camera set up around her, lights shining brightly. The host, a charismatic woman named Jenna, greeted her with a warm smile. Welcome, Mia. Your story is incredibly inspiring. Can you tell us how your app is helping children? Mia took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. Thank you, Jenna. My app is designed to make coding accessible to all children, especially those from underprivileged backgrounds. I believe technology should serve as a bridge, not a barrier. After everything you've faced, what keeps you motivated? Jenna asked, her eyes fixed on Mia, genuinely interested. Mia paused, reflecting on her journey. The kids. Every time I see a child light up at the prospect of learning something new, it reminds me why I started. I want to create a world where every child knows they can be a creator, not just a consumer. As the interview progressed, Mia shared anecdotes about her experiences, weaving in the challenges she faced and the unwavering support of her team. We had our ups and downs, of course, but every challenge taught us something valuable. It taught us that failure is just a stepping stone to success. When the interview concluded, Jenna leaned in, her expression sincere. You have a gift for storytelling, Mia. Your passion is palpable. I can see you moving mountains with this vision. Mia felt a rush of gratitude wash over her. Thank you. I believe that together, we can inspire a generation to dream big. As she left the studio, her phone buzzed with messages of congratulations. Friends, family, and even some of the students she had met at the fair were cheering her on. The support felt overwhelming, and for the first time in a long while, she felt a sense of belonging and affirmation that she was on the right path. ***. Weeks turned into months, and Mia's impact continued to grow. She was invited to speak at schools and conferences, sharing her story and the value of resilience. Each interaction fueled her passion further, and soon she was approached by a large technology corporation interested in partnering with her app. Imagine the reach we could have, the representative said during their meeting, excitement radiating from her. Together, we can provide resources to schools nationwide. Mia felt a surge of hope. That sounds incredible, but I want to ensure our mission stays intact. We must prioritize accessibility and community engagement. Absolutely, the representative agreed, nodding enthusiastically. Your vision is exactly what we need. We can create a pilot program that demonstrates our commitment to these values. The partnership blossomed, and Mia's app grew in complexity and reach. However, with growth came new challenges. One evening, as she sat in her office, surrounded by her team, a sense of unease crept in. "Are we losing sight of our mission?" she asked, her voice laced with concern. Jordan, who had joined her team as a project manager, leaned over. "Mia, we're still aligned with our goals. We're helping more kids than ever, but it's normal to question things as we grow. It shows your dedication." He was right. "I just want to make sure we don't become another big corporation that forgets the little guys," she said, her passion evident. "We want to, keep our community at the forefront," Jordan assured her. "Let us set up focus groups with the kids and educators who use our app. Their feedback will help us stay grounded." Mia nodded, grateful for the support of her team. That night, she felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were building something meaningful together, and they would navigate the challenges as a united front. *****. Months later, as Mia stood in a brightly lit auditorium, she reflected on how far she had come. The annual tech conference was packed with innovators, educators, and young students eager to learn. She had been invited to present her journey again, and the excitement coursed through her veins. "Welcome, everyone," she greeted the crowd, her voice steady and confident. "Today, I want to talk about the power of resilience and community. When I started this journey, I was fueled by a simple belief that every child deserves access to technology and the chance to create." As she spoke, she shared not just her successes, but the challenges that had shaped her. "There were times when I doubted myself, when others doubted me, but I learned that every obstacle can be turned into an opportunity. It is about how we respond to those challenges that defines us." From the audience, a young girl raised her hand. "But what if I fail? What if it doesn't work out?" Mia smiled warmly. "Failure is a part of growth. It is how we learn. Every time you stumble, you learn something valuable that brings you closer to success. Embrace it and know that you are not alone." As the applause filled the auditorium, Mia felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. She had turned her past struggles into a beacon of hope for others. It wasn't just about her journey anymore. It was about igniting a spark in the next generation, helping them realize their potential. After her talk, a local educator approached her, eyes shining with admiration. "Thank you for sharing your story, Mia. It inspired my students. They need to hear that failure is just a stepping stone." Mia beamed, grateful for the connection they shared. It is our responsibility to show them the beauty of resilience. Together, we can change the narrative for countless children. As she left the auditorium, a sense of hope filled her heart. She had transformed her experiences into something greater, an opportunity to uplift others. Each challenge she faced had only strengthened her resolve to create a world where every child felt empowered to dream big. With a deep breath, she whispered to herself, "This is just the beginning." And as she stepped into the future, she felt the warmth of her journey guiding her every step. Hope was alive within her, and she was ready to continue inspiring, uplifting, and paving the way for others to follow their own paths.